Greetings for the day viewers. I'm Ankur Chakrabarti from XLRI's PGT and GM program, and today I'm joined by Mr. Shaju Nair, who happens to be the global product lead for ServiceNow. He has about close to 3 decades of experience across various industries in the product development and management area. So, with my whole heart, I welcome you to XLRI, and I hope you have had a nice experience over here.
It's a privilege to be here, Ankur.
Thank you.
Looking forward to the conversation.
Perfect. Sweet. So we'll start off with few of the questions.
Sure.
And I would start off with, you're currently leading the platform product for one of the most influential enterprise solution software companies in the world. Could you just walk me through the pivotal moments in your career that actually led you from your early days in computer, applications to this global leadership role in ServiceNow?
Sure, yeah. So, been into the product space for a fairly long time now, and started off more from a technology perspective. I was a developer, coder, and then it was one of my managers who actually prompted me to start thinking differently. Right, it was she who understood that I had a greater empathy for customers, customer problems, for business, and she kind of helped me to develop and hone on that skill, and that is something that over the years has transformed me from a technologist to more of a product specialist, I should say. And that is something that I have had the good fortune of working across multiple industries, and that's how eventually I came to ServiceNow.
Perfect. That was very sweet. So key takeaways, you actually moved into customer problems and from being a technologist to a problem solver, so as to speak.
Correct.
I'll just quickly shift gears over here. So during your time at Wipro, you authored several influential articles on productization. And for us B school students, that's actually very much of a radical idea because we are taught servitization. Can you please differentiate these two and maybe throw some light on what's the actual real life implication of this? I'd love to know about that.
Absolutely. So in a typical services business, right? The revenues are pretty much linked to the headcount that you have.
Okay.
Right? It's a simple mathematics over there, right? The more the number of bodies that you put onto a job, the more you can bill. Now there is only a limited amount of scope for any organization to grow its revenues exponentially in that format, right? So if you want to really get non-linear growth of revenues, you need to own IP, intellectual property, and that will come only if you have built products of your own, right? Because if you look at product companies, the kind of margins that they command are 80, 90 plus percentage. Whereas in a services business, it's relatively much lower, right? So if a service company wants to transform itself, which is what Wipro's objective was, and that's how I got hired into the role.
So the hybridization of either way going towards the center point, or it's like productization is the way to go?
Productization is the way to go because you have already been doing a lot of service work, right? Mm-hmm. Until and unless you channel your efforts into taking all of those learnings to building on that and really coming up with intellectual property that can be monetized.
Okay.
Right. That's the whole journey, and that's what I was involved with at Wipro.
Perfect. That's really insightful, sir. And speaking on that journey, I would like to then talk about your own venture that you actually opened up back in 2015, Absence. So I really appreciate if you can throw some light on that and maybe discuss one or two products that you were able to roll out and really solve a problem out there in the real world.
Sure. So after having spent considerable amount of time building product for other companies, I thought why not solve something that is a little bit more social driven,
okay.
Right? And that's where I ventured into a startup journey where we wanted to solve the whole problem of how do we get economic empowerment to people who are in the bottom of the urban pyramid, right? So by that, what we meant was easy access to jobs, to education, to healthcare, as well as news that's happening, very, very hyper localized, right? So because if I want to bring economic opportunities to that strata of the society, those people need opportunities closer to where they are staying. Right, so they won't benefit from someone saying, oh, travel 50 kilometers, you have a job over there.
That takes away like half of their energy.
Exactly, energy as well as the money to commute and stay, right? So that is something that we wanted to solve, and that's how this whole product called Proximi came in. And then there was another product that we also built, which was UGrid, which was more about building a very, very, very private network that included students, faculty and industry professionals. So that was the whole aspect of UGrid, and significant amount of learnings, some amount of revenues, but really taught us how to go ahead and manage in a very, very constrained manner, where you're fighting for revenues, you're fighting for eyeballs, you're fighting for customers, and an experience that has been really fabulous.
Now, keeping up that entrepreneurial spirit alive, I had a aspirational question to you. From what my research told me, that there is no single true competitor that ServiceNow has, a platform of platforms, so as to speak. Now, if I am at 25-year-old, let's say, going to the Premium Institute of XLRI, and I want to open up a company sometime in the future that can actually cater to those clients who are having the need of having just one unified platform for all the things across. How would my strategy look like to maybe cater to that in the 10-year horizon? If you can throw some light on that.
So the question is more on the platform of platforms, or more
how would
on
I go about building it? What matters more? Is it the people? Is it the talent that I need to gather to actually cater to this, or is it more on the technology? What comes first and what follows next, maybe?
I would say looking at all of my experiences plus my experience as an entrepreneur, I think the primary thing that matters is people. If you are able to assemble the right set of minds and have them focus on the right set of problems, magic happens. You don't build technology and then build a team around it. It's always the other way around.
Correct. So we'll just quickly shift gears, I think, over here, and I'll go back to this, basically on ServiceNow itself. So ServiceNow has never really positioned itself as a traditional CRM or ERP platform of platforms, for that matter. Now, for a CEO or a CIO, how do you actually make that differentiation communicated to them? Or the distinction that this is not something that you have traditionally worked on. How do you actually communicate it to those people who are actually, considering a huge investment in this particular product for their enterprise?
Especially where we are today, right? We are fairly established, fairly brand and a power to reckon with. So for us, it doesn't take much time, it's to really sell the concept of that unified platform, or the platform of platforms. It's more about building that confidence that there are so many other customers, so many other peers of our customer who have a prospect who are benefiting from ServiceNow, and then showcase the value that this platform can actually bring to them. How it opens up the opportunities. From a platform of platforms to a natively AI platform for business transformation. This is how we are, right? A business that doesn't have AI slapped onto it, but a business or a platform that has AI that is ambient. It's all
so
pervasive.
That it's part of the process and not just
exactly. It's not it's not something that it's not a feature. It's pretty much something that is inherently there everywhere in the platform, and that is something that really puts us in a very leadership position.
Right. So talking about ServiceNow, what would you consider the major technological moat for ServiceNow is? I have heard about RaptorDB and maybe the single data model that you have that unifies every single integrated technologies out there. What, according to you, is actually the single greatest reason for the technological moat that ServiceNow has been able to make or maintain over the years?
It's when you talk about that single data model, right? It sounds very simple, right? But until and unless you, as a company, as a product, you have not thought about it from day one, it is near impossible to achieve that. right? And that is what ServiceNow stands for, right? Our very focus, our very DNA is a single data model, right? And now with that single data model, when AI is infused into everything, it becomes transforms into an AI platform for business transformation, enabling business transformation. That is something that really keeps us apart.
So you would say the single data model still holds true. Like this is the greatest reason from day one that ServiceNow has been able to do and maintain what they have been able to.
Absolutely.
Sure. I'll just talk something about on the lines of workflow suite. So that has been created to sort of cater to consumer grade experiences for companies' workforces. I just wanted to know if ServiceNow is sort of drinking its own champagne, meaning are you actually solving internal complex problems using the solutions that you are actually providing to the clients per se?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We have this major initiative called Now on Now.
Now,
Right? Now is our
Now platform,
Now platform, right? And um, every product that we build and ship to customers, pretty much gets implemented internally. So as long as there is a relevance, right? And this is all the successes that we see internally are huge influencers for customers to decide onto whether they want to buy ServiceNow or not, because we are a fairly 25, 26, 27,000 employees, right? Fairly complex and a multi-geography, fairly established business. If a product like ServiceNow can work for a company like us, it can pretty much work for any kind of company in the world, right? And when we build it, all of our case studies, these are lapped up by all of our prospects as well as customers. They look out to these. In fact, our customer-facing organizations showcase a lot of the successes that they have seen implementing ServiceNow on ServiceNow itself to our end customers.
That's really insightful, like gaining insights from your own operations and then maybe making those fine tunings to maybe cater to the external clients.
Absolutely, yeah. We are customer zero for all internal purposes.
Sweet. So from the vast product catalog that you have, like starting from ITSM to SecOps, HRSD and creator workflows, enterprise adoption must be a challenge. Like how do you actually sell and communicate it to the enterprises? Okay, this is the upgrade or this is the potential benefits that you might get if you adopt this particular version of the ServiceNow platform. Like how do you actually communicate it?
So is it more about how do we upsell or
maybe not even upsell, like if it's a like new seller as well, how do you actually onboard those clients to actually from your vast product catalog that you have, and maybe communicate the actual significant benefits that they might have into their process?
So when we share these with customers, right, we always try to relate it to the customer problem, right? And as long as there is a resonance that is realized between what the customer problem is and the solution that we are proposing, it just becomes easy for the discussions to progress.
So as long as the match is there, like if they are looking for something that we can provide, it's a sweet deal.
Absolutely.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much for replying to all of those questions. I'll just move on to a few rapid fire questions if you don't mind.
Sure.
Right. So first question is, Flow Designer or Classic Workflow Editor?
Flow Designer.
Good to know. Your favorite ServiceNow product that isn't ITSM, CSM or HRSD?
The platform.
The platform it is. The most underrated feature on the Now platform?
That's a difficult one because everything is so intrinsic to the business.
Okay. I'll move on. Okay. One word to describe the future of enterprise software?
Promising.
Promising. Code or low code for your own personal projects?
Low code.
Biggest source of product inspiration, is it customer feedback or is it competitor analysis or is it internal innovation?
Customer feedback.
A dream third-party system you'd love to see a spoke for in an integration hub with ServiceNow?
for every system of consequence in an enterprise, integration hub exists, right? So we have spokes for that. The only thing that I would say is, build a spoke to connect to a human mind.
Okay. First computer you ever owned?
Oh, that was a Dell. I don't even remember its
Back
model.
then?
Oh, it was way back.
Okay. For enterprise tech innovation today, Bengaluru or Silicon Valley?
I would say, considering what is happening in the global markets today, Bangalore is definitely the place to do it.
Wanted to hear that, not gonna lie. And last but not the least, if you could use the Now platform to fully automate one part of your daily life, what would it be?
Daily life, I would say, if I could automate my daily workouts, I'd be extremely happy.
Nice. All right. Thank you, Mr. Shaju. This has been a wonderful talk.
Thank you, sir.
Hope you have a nice time.
Sure.